Hey, my feel good friend, and welcome to another episode of the Feel Good Social Podcast. I'm your host, Kinsey, and oh man, I'm going to be honest, this is going to be yet another episode where we get super nerdy about content planning and content strategy, and I could not be more excited. If you haven't yet listened to episode 89 of the Feel Good Social Podcast, all about batch planning your content, you will definitely want to go back and give that one a listen, my friend, because today we are talking about how you can take your batch planning and your content strategy to the next level. And you know, I'm going to totally geek out about this. My friend, today I am sharing how you can create a promotional campaign for your brand. So this is basically going to become very, very helpful for you if you are ever running a sale, if you're doing any holiday promotions, which we are coming into the holiday season, just saying, my friend, or if you are ever launching a new offer or launching an offer where it is kind of time limited, like a live course or a live group program or something like that, right? Planning a promotional campaign is what is going to help you make sure that all of your content and marketing content is as strategic as possible so you can really see the most success possible. You can present your offer in a way that your audience is just saying, heck yes, sign me up too, right? And also just creating an outline and a strategy for your campaign is going to make your life so much easier when it comes to actually showing up and selling, because I think we all know how much running a sale or promotion can feel like you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off, right? Like when you're in the middle of it, you're trying to manage all the things and navigate all the things. And sometimes your marketing can be kind of pushed aside or be like a second thought for you. And then you end up not seeing as much success as you could. So, my friend, today I am totally going to break down how you can plan your campaign strategy so that you can see the best results without wasting your precious time or feeling like you're losing your sanity in the process. Okay, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right in. Hey, friend, and welcome to the Feel Good Social Podcast. I'm your host, Kinsey, and I'm here to help you market your business in a genuine way that works without wasting your precious time. On this show, we chat about social media strategy and mindset tips with a focus on, you guessed it, feeling good. So sit back, relax, and enjoy some genuine conversation for the good of your biz. All right, my friend. Now, before we dive into exactly how you can create a promotional strategy for your brand, I first want to say, if you haven't listened to episode 89 of the Feel Good Social Podcast, all about batch planning, you may want to go back and give that a listen. It's a super awesome episode, and it is kind of the first step episode to what I'm going to be dishing up today. Okay, so if at all you're feeling confused or a little overwhelmed or anything like that, go back and listen to episode 89, then come back here and we'll level up your content strategy with this episode, okay? Second thing I want to say is I don't usually say this, but I would love for you to go grab a pen and paper to take notes and brainstorm during this episode. I don't usually say take notes, but it's so fun when people send me DMs or tag me in their Instagram story and tell me they've been taking notes and whatnot. And I'm like, oh, that just makes me so happy, right? But this episode in particular is one of those episodes where you will probably want to be taking notes. You will probably want to have something to brainstorm ideas on, right? Because it's a very actionable episode, especially with the holiday season coming right up, my friend. This is very, very timely right now. And so definitely go grab a pen and paper, and also keep this episode in mind in the future whenever you are going to plan sales or promotions or launch new offers or anything like that. Keep this episode in mind and come back and give it a listen because, you know, it's applicable, if that's a word, again and again and again, right? So go grab a pen and paper. And the final thing I do want to say, my friend, is if you are at all feeling overwhelmed by your content planning process, I totally get it, especially when it comes to planning promotions and the holiday season coming up. It feels like this big chunk of time that you have to really navigate all the things and all the stuff, right? I would love for you to check out my new online marketing membership, the Feel Good Social Club. It is my new online marketing membership for down to earth entrepreneurs who want to create content with ease, actually take action to plan your content strategy every month and get it done, and also connect with other rad down to earth entrepreneurs like yourself who are cheering you on and giving you a friendly kick in the accountability booty whenever you need it. Okay. Go check out the program. It's feelgoodsocial.com/club. If you head there now, then you will find the wait list where you can add your name so that you can be grandfathered into the founding members price of only $37 a month. It's awesome. Or if you go there after next Tuesday, October 26th, the doors will be opening, but only for a short time for you to sign up. My friend, check it out. It's feelgoodsocial.com/club. And the reason I would really like you to check it out, especially if you're at all feeling overwhelmed or confused or anything like that during this episode, is because the club will actually include monthly content planning workshops with me. Right? So if you are feeling confused or overwhelmed or feel like you need feedback or some sort of clarity or anything like that, then you will be able to attend monthly content planning workshops with me every month as long as you're a member. And I'm just so excited. You know, I get nerdy about this stuff. And I also understand how just valuable it is to have not only my feedback as a marketing mentor and expert, but also have your peers' feedback, right? And that's what these monthly content planning workshops are going to include in the Feel Good Social Club. So definitely go check it out. feelgoodsocial.com/club. Depending on whenever you're listening to this episode, add your name to the wait list or go ahead and sign up, my friend. I would absolutely love to see you in there. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and dive right in. Did you grab your pen and paper? Quick, go do it. Okay, so the first thing I really quickly want to cover is what the heck I'm talking about when I say a promotional campaign strategy for your brand. Okay, this is basically just like funky marketing lingo for any time you are in a highly promotional period in your business where you're really trying to drive sales, either for, if you're having a sale on like site-wide website or whatever, your whole website, or drive sales for a specific product or offer that you have, right? So basically it's, sales like 50% off site-wide, any holiday promotions or anything like that, anytime you're launching a new offer, or if you have the limited time offers, like I said, like if you're running a course live and people have a certain date until they can sign up or something like that, right? So it's really, really important to plan promotional campaigns for any highly promotional periods in your business, because the more thought and strategy you put behind your content, the more you can make sure that it all works together to ramp up your ideal customers to want to buy from you and then to actually hit that buy button when it comes time to sell to them, right? If we can be super, super strategic and purposeful with our content, then we will not only boost our sales, but we will boost our brand awareness and the know, like, trust factor in the process. And also, like I said in the intro, if you can create a plan of attack going into a campaign like this, not only will it do an insane amount to boost your success and the results that you see, but also it's going to make your life so much easier. Because often, I don't know if you've ever really gone into a highly promotional period in your business or anything like that, but often when we are in the middle of it, we're feeling all kind of emotions. We're on the emotional roller coaster. We're feeling like we're having to navigate and manage all of these different things and all that stuff. It can be a very stressful time. And so if you can come into it with a plan of attack and know that you're doing everything possible to really boost your success, you know exactly what you're posting, and you have it all created beforehand. Oh man, it is a breath of fresh air. My friend, I get so excited when I talk about this stuff because I feel it in my bones. I have gone through several launches myself, specifically for my online course, the social map. I've launched that 4 times now. And seriously, it's been a journey navigating it every time, right? And then also, I am currently in the middle of my Feel Good Social Club launch as well, which is part of the inspiration for this episode, right? So as I walk you through how to create this strategy, I will be giving you examples of the Feel Good Social Club launch because it is so fresh on my mind. I'm like literally right in the middle of it. So that said, if you do ever want to see any examples or anything like that of whatever the heck I'm talking about, you probably want to go to the Feel Good Social Club waitlist page, right? It tells you all about the club and it shows examples of the language and all that stuff. Or head to my Instagram at Feel Good Social. I'll be posting a lot of promotional posts on there as well, my friend. So definitely feel free to use my launch of the Feel Good Social Club right now as a visual example for yourself for planning your own launching campaign in the future, right? So definitely feel free, go to feelgoodsocial.com/club, check it out. And while you're there, add your name to the wait list, my friend. I would love for you to be in the club. Okay, so now that we know the what and the why behind planning your promotional campaign strategy for your brand, let's talk about how the heck you can do this. And once again, I want to remind you that I am going to be referring to and speaking about a few different things that I taught in episode 89 of the Feel Good Social podcast, the batch planning episode, right? Because this is basically batch planning at that next level. So go back and take a listen. Take a listen to that if you're ever confused. Okay, my friend. Okay, so in episode 89, the first thing that we really covered was, well, firstly, we really brainstormed our campaign strategy and all that stuff, or our monthly strategies, right? Which is what I'm about to dive into. But the first thing I really want to make clear when it comes to planning a promotional campaign for your business is there is kind of a runway, right? I want you to visualize this real quick. So in episode 89, I talked about how I really map out the big picture of my month on an actual map. It's legit the social map calendar that I share with my social map students in a program called Airtable. But you can totally just do this in your Google Calendar, or you could also do this in like a desk calendar or something like that if you wanted, right? But basically, I take a look at my entire month and I will mark the important dates pertaining to my campaign and my launch or my sale or whatever it is, right? And the 3 dates that I really want you to pay attention to are the cart open date, the cart close date, and then the pre-launch runway date. Okay. So what I mean by these 3 dates here is basically your cart open is the start of your sale or the start of your launch. It's literally the first day people can actually buy whatever the heck you're trying to promote, right? The cart close date is the last day of the sale, the last day people can buy whatever the heck you're selling, right? And then the pre-launch runway start date is basically when you are going to start the runway leading up to the sale. Okay. So these dates can vary, which is another reason that it could be a great idea to join the Feel Good Social Club if you want my advice and timelines and all these things when it comes to planning your promotions and whatnot. But in general, you will run your pre-launch runway for about 2 to 3 weeks leading up to, ramping up to your launch period, which is the period between the cart open date and the cart close date, right? And the launch period itself, the timeline for that can vary as well when it comes to what you're launching, I guess. If you're hosting a weekend sale, like for Black Friday or something, your launch period might run from Friday to Monday. But if you're launching an online course, you might have a week-long, 2-week-long, sometimes 3-week-long launch period, right? It really just depends on what you're selling selling and what your timeline looks like and what you are comfortable with in your promotional period as the business owner. So, my friend, if you have any questions at all, it would be a great idea to join the Feel Good Social Club because I can totally help you figure that out for yourself for your specific campaigns, right? But in general, what we are trying to do is just map out what our pre-launch runway looks like that leads up to the launch period, which is the cart open date and the cart close date. Okay. And I really wanted to make sure that you firstly map this out for yourself so you can visualize it. I find this to be so, so helpful, right? But I really want you to understand what the pre-launch is and what the launch period is and the difference between them, because this is really important when it comes to the type of content that you are going to be sharing with your people. Because, my friend, the point of the pre-launch period, the pre-launch runway leading up to your launch period, your sale period, is to really ramp up your ideal customers and prep them to want to buy from you when the launch period happens, right? So this is why it is really important to plan ahead of time, because we can start to share content during the pre-launch period that is really focused on the big themes of your sale, right? If we can focus on giving people information that they will need to know for the sale in order to make an informed purchase decision when it comes time to buy from you, then they will be more likely to hit that buy button, right? Which is why it's so important. So the pre-launch period is really all going to be about ramping up your content to prep your audience to hit that purchase button. And we're really going to be asking the questions of, what does my ideal customer need to know in order to just make that purchase decision a heck yeah, right? The launch period itself is going to be more focused on whatever the heck you're selling, right? It's going to be very, very focused in, specific to whatever you are selling. And it is going to be more highly promotional content. Not every post is going to be, hey, buy from me, but it's going to be very, very focused on whatever the heck your offer is during the launch period, okay? That is the difference between pre-launch and the launch period itself. And I'm telling you this right now because I'm about to go through a full list of topic ideas, content themes that we are going to brainstorm. And honestly, the content themes are going to be very, very similar during your pre-launch period, your pre-launch runway, and your launch period. But the difference as you are brainstorming these content ideas and whatnot for the pre-launch and the launch period is that the pre-launch period is going to be focusing on your general industry, your broader themes, the broader themes of your offers, right? What your audience needs to know in order to prep them to buy from you. And then when we're brainstorming these same content themes for the launch period, it's going to be more focused on your offer specific. We're going to be really, really zooming in on whatever the heck you are selling specifically, right? So hopefully this is making sense to you, my friend. If you do have any questions at all, if you want to chat about this anymore, I am so open for it and so down for it. Shoot me a DM on Instagram. I'm at Feel Good Social. I'm super friendly and I love hearing from my feel gooders. Or shoot me an email, my friend. It's kinsey@feelgoodsocial.com. I would love to chat with you about this and explain it further, right? Okay. So now that we understand the pre-launch period and the launch period, like I said, I would love for you to go ahead and mark these dates on your calendar so you can visualize it. I think that this is so, so helpful for me specifically. Let's go ahead and brainstorm content themes for both the pre-launch period and the launch period. Like I said, the content themes are pretty similar. It's just the focus of the themes that is a little different during the pre-launch and the actual launch period, okay? So the first thing that we need to brainstorm, this may be the most important thing that I am going to share with you in this entire episode. Okay. So if you're, multitasking, if you're doing whatever the heck, something else, if your brain's only half here, come back to me, my friend. I want you to really, really hear this part because this is one of the most important things that you can understand when it comes to selling. Okay. So the first thing we are going to brainstorm is the transformation. Okay. So this is so, so powerful and so, so compelling when it comes to people feeling like you can help them and feeling like you can change their life and whatnot, right? It is. It's the transformation. It's the problem that people are struggling with, the solution that you offer them, and then the benefit, the afterlife, the beautiful dream life that they will get after using and implementing your solution. Okay. So that is what the transformation looks like: the problem, the solution, and the benefit afterwards. Okay. So when it comes to your launch campaign, I want you to brainstorm 2 different types of transformations. Okay. And actually, if you come up with more transformations, for example, the Feel Good Social Club has multiple transformations because the Feel Good Social Club has multiple themes, which I will share in a second. So I just want to say, if you find yourself coming up with multiple transformations, amazing. But really what I want you to brainstorm right now are the problems and the struggles that your people have that you help them solve, right? That your industry helps them solve, right? So for Feel Good Social, for the pre-launch period, I would want to focus more on the bigger, broader themes and the bigger, broader issues of social media marketing, right? Which is my industry, and probably batch planning, probably content creation, which are some themes and pillars of the Feel Good Social Club, but kind of the broader spectrum of them, right? So what problems do people struggle with when it comes to social media marketing? There are so many, right? The overwhelm of just feeling like they have to navigate and post every day and not knowing what the heck to post about and not knowing how to give their content structure and make it strategic and all of these things. There's the confusion of the platforms changing all the frickin' time, which I always roll my eyes at. There's the fear of showing up online, the fear of not having the confidence, of feeling like you're in the spotlight, the fear of perfectionism, right? Of feeling like people are going to be judging you if you show up in a less than perfect way. There are so many things that people struggle with when it comes to social media marketing in general. And then I could think about content creation as well. A lot of times, what I've run into with my clients and students is people have this vision of content that they want to create. Like they know they want to create beautiful content that feels on brand. Sometimes they can even envision what they would love to create, but they just can't make it happen, whether it's because they don't feel like they have a design eye, or they don't know how to use Canva, or they just don't have the time to make it work and whatnot, right? That's a problem that a lot of people have as well. So think about your problems. What are your ideal customers struggling with that your industry helps them solve, or you help them solve with your brand, right? Then we go on the solution, and the solution is really your offer or like how you help people, right? So for Feel Good Social, I offer lots of different solutions, but batch planning and content planning workshops are one of them. Teaching people how to batch plan is maybe the pre-launch runway content, which episode 89 was helping you with just that, my friend. And then also during the launch of the Feel Good Social Club, I will be speaking to that same problem, offering my same solution, but getting more and more specific with, hey, the Feel Good Social Club is here to help you, right? With these content planning workshops. So during the pre-launch period, my problem was batch planning and my solution was helping you batch plan and learning how to batch plan. During the launch period, my problem is still batch planning, actually getting stuff done, actually taking action, right? But my solution is going to be more product specific, and I'm going to be very, very direct in saying the Feel Good Social Club is here for you, my friend, right? So hopefully this is making sense. The difference between the problem solution in the pre-launch period and the difference between the problem solution in the actual launch period. This is kind of what I'm talking about when I mean broader topics versus specific offer focused topics, right? So brainstorm your solutions. What are your kind of broader pre-launch solutions? What are your offer solutions, right? And then there is the final piece of the transformation. And this is very, very important, my friend. And it's what a lot of us forget to talk about. Okay. And this is the benefit. This is the afterlife. This is the what will your customers look like after they have implemented your solution to help them solve their problem, right? So this has a lot to do with feelings as well. So for Feel Good Social, my benefit after you work with me and I help you solve the problem of overwhelm, confusion, fear of showing up, frustration maybe because you don't feel like you have a design eye or you can't really create content in the way you want to create it, right? Feel Good Social's benefit will be you being able to market your business on social media in the best way and see success, make more money without wasting your precious time. You'll be able to do it in an authentic way. You'll be able to feel like you belong and have less fear about showing up online. You'll be able to spread your message in a powerful way and not a meek way, right? And ultimately you will feel better about yourself and live the life you want to live. I feel like most of us, our benefits can be, you'll live your dream life, right? But it's true, and it's really, really important to touch on the so that, right? That's how I like to think of the benefit as well. It's so that, right? I know what it's like to struggle with feeling overwhelmed by so much content and struggle to create even a single Instagram post every day that no one really sees anyway. With the Feel Good Social Club, you will actually take action every month to create a content plan of attack that works for you and is strategic. You'll gain feedback from a marketing expert and you will be able to actually take action and implement it so that you create content that people actually see and pay attention to and makes people buy from you so that you can grow your dream business and thrive. I don't know, something like that, right? That is a transformation for Feel Good Social, right? It's the problem, my solution, and then the so that, right? This is the solution so that you can, right? That's the benefit afterwards. And I really want you to think about that and make sure that you are putting that into your messaging, especially for launches like this, because that's the part that a lot of us forget about, but that is one of the most compelling parts of your messaging, okay? So go ahead and think about your transformation, my friend, the problem, the solution, the benefit, and then think about the difference between the pre-launch, the broader themes, and the launch period, the very offer-specific themes, okay? Hopefully this is making sense. If you need to pause the podcast, go ahead and do that and come back for the next theme, which I'm about to get into right now, my friend. Okay, so the next theme that I really want you to brainstorm for both the pre-launch period and the launch period are misconceptions. Okay, so misconceptions are basically, what do people believe about your industry? What do people believe about your brand? What do people believe about your offer that isn't really true, right? So maybe it's like myth busting or something like that. And this is very, very important because there are a lot of beliefs that people have that will stop them from asking for your help, from buying from you, from actually investing and getting the help that they need in order to live the better life or whatever the heck you help people with, right? So think about things that people believe are true that aren't really true. And you can create content around that. And it's going to help compel people to actually invest in what you have, right? If you can myth bust some of these beliefs, okay? And when it comes to the pre-launch period and the launch period, again, we're thinking broader, general things, and then we're thinking very specific to your offer things, okay? So for Feel Good Social, some misconceptions people might have are, feeling like social media is just a waste of your time or takes up way too much of your time, right? So I could generally talk about how batch planning, it's probably part of the episode 89 that I was talking about before, can really help you to actually save time and make your content more strategic, right? So it's not a waste of time. It's worth your time. And it's actually worth less of your time because it'll go faster than you just wasting an hour every frickin' day trying to create a social media post that isn't working with any of your other posts and isn't going to help be as strategic to boost your sales, right? So that is a misconception that I could definitely talk about when it comes to Feel Good Social. And in the pre-launch period, I would talk about it being kind of the more general terms. I believe, mention in the batch planning episode how this will help you save time. I know what a waste of time social media can feel like. Let's save you time and make your content more strategic to boot, right? So when I go into the launch period for the Feel Good Social Club, I will be being very, very specific to that at the same time, but honing in on the content planning workshops, how they're only an hour long, and all you have to do is commit an hour to show up and create your content plan of attack. And then we will be, doing more things, and you'll be able to get my feedback in order to make the content creation process easier for you so you're not wasting time every day, right? So this is kind of how you can brainstorm and use similar misconceptions and similar messaging in general for both your pre-launch and your launch, and it will all fit together and all work together, and we're really building upon each other and ramping people up to buy from you. Okay, so hopefully this is making sense. So go ahead and brainstorm misconceptions for your brand and think about, how can I talk about this when it comes to my pre-launch content, and how can I talk about this when it comes to my launch content? Okay, so the next content theme that I want you to think about when it comes to promotional campaigns are objections. Okay. And this one is, I always laugh at this one because objections are very, very similar for most people across all industries, right? Objections are what people are telling themselves of why they don't want to buy from you right now, right? A lot of it is, why don't people want to buy from you right now? Okay. And what we want to do is really think about people's reasons for saying no to buying from you, and then give them, create language to help kind of say, oh, actually, like, I understand if this is your objection. And if it is, that's totally cool. But think about it this way. Maybe you'll want to say yes now, right? Like, that's what objections are all about, right? So in general, across most industries, no matter what you're selling, a lot of times one of the big objections is money, right? Because no matter what, we are all selling something and we're all asking people for money of some sort. And so money is a great, great objection. It is a common objection. It's an objection for most of us, probably, right? Often time is another objection. If you are selling, a course or a program that people have to spend time completing, then yes, that's something. Even if you're selling a product that is going to take people time to use, that could be an objection as well, right? So time and money are the two biggest objections when it comes to selling in general. So I want you to think specifically about your people and what their objections are and how you can specifically speak to them to help them overcome these objections, right? So for the Feel Good Social Club, if an objection is money, well, hey, I made that pretty easy. It's only $37 a month to join for founding members. I wanted to make it a no-brainer for founding members, and it just makes me happy. It makes me feel like I'm given a gift of some sort or something like that, right? So it's really not that expensive to join the Feel Good Social Club, is what I think my sales page says this even. It's like, do I have money for this? Well, it's only $37 a month, and you can cancel anytime with 30 days notice, right? So that's what I say. And also another way I could speak to that is that with the Feel Good Social Club, you actually taking action, strategic action to market your business every month, you will definitely be making back that $37 a month investment every freaking month, right? Like, the stuff that you learn and the stuff that you implement from the Feel Good Social Club is going to help you make money, which is a really great way to talk about that objection, right? So think about that for your offer. How can you speak to those objections, right? Same thing for time. People are worried about not having enough time. They want to make sure they have enough time to join the club and whatnot. And really what I say to that is, well, there's only a 1 hour a month commitment if you want to attend the monthly content planning workshops, which I totally recommend, but they're not required, right? And other than that, you could come into the community and post on your own time. All of the content templates are available, unlimited, right? So like, you don't have to worry about downloading everything before a certain date or anything. You'll get unlimited access, unlimited downloads to all that stuff. If you come to the monthly content planning workshops, it's going to help you save time every month. So you're not wasting an hour every morning trying to create a freaking social media post, which I have been there, my friend, and I feel you on that. But, this is what I would say to people when it comes to objections for time, right? So think about time objections for you as well. And then think about any other objections people might have when it comes to not wanting to buy from you. Procrastination might be a good one. Fear of something might be a good one. So think about the reasons people are going to say, I don't know. I don't know if I should buy from you, or I don't know if this is right for me, right? And think about how can you give them language and justify their purchase decision for them. This is very, very important to create content around, especially during the launch period. You can totally start to address these objections during the pre-launch period and more of those general terms, but especially during the launch period, you'll want to create posts around this because this is going to help solidify people's purchase decisions, right? So brainstorm that, my friend. Now, the next piece of content that I want you to brainstorm right now, this is very, very simple, straightforward. If your brain is hurting right now, it's okay. This one's easy. Testimonials and social proof. Okay. So we definitely want to, as we are going through the pre-launch period and ramping up and then going into the launch period, throughout the launch period, we want to be sharing customer testimonials for your brand, right? Because this is just one of those things that just is the cherry on top of people's purchase decision usually, right? If they see other people praising you, saying, hey, so-and-so did a great job, or this product was amazing. Usually people are just like, oh yeah, okay, I need this too, right? Like it's either solidifying their purchase decision or it's almost creating a little bit of FOMO, which is awesome. It's a healthy FOMO, right? Like, oh, that person was helped by them. I want to be helped by them too. So testimonials are great to share when it comes to your pre-launch period and your launch period. And also customer transformation stories, right? So remember that transformation story that we brainstormed just in general for your general customers. If you have a story like that you can share about one of your customers, that is so, so powerful as well, right? So it's the same problem. It's the same solution. It's the same afterlife, but you're being specific and telling the story about your customer. So-and-so was struggling with this. Then she came to me and I helped her with XYZ, and her life afterward looked beautiful, right? I don't know. Then afterward, now she can finally X, Y, and Z, whatever the heck it is, So for Feel Good Social, this could be, Samantha was really, really struggling with showing up consistently online every day. Then she hired me to teach her how to batch plan her content. And now she is showing up consistently. She's boosted her sales by 800%, which is a true fact, actually, for one of my clients. And she is living her best life and able to manage her time and manage her business and manage her fun time like way better, right? I don't know. That was probably, I probably could have said that more eloquently, but oh well, you get what I mean, right? So brainstorm customer testimonials, go back through and screenshot emails or screenshot comments on social media posts where your customers are praising you. Any stuff like that is awesome to share during pre-launch and launch periods, okay? Okay, my friend, we are almost done with the content themes. Okay, so stick with me. We are in the final stretch. The final thing that I really want you to brainstorm when it comes to content for launching is stories. Okay, so you have heard me talk about storytelling before if you're a longtime listener of the Feel Good Social podcast, but storytelling is seriously in your marketing one of the most powerful things you can do. There is like proven science that humans just feel compelled by stories. Stories are more memorable. Stories fire neurons in the part of our brain that actually makes purchase decisions. Stories help us to relate to our customers on an emotional level. Like sharing stories is so, so powerful when it comes to your brand in general, but also during a launch and a promotional period in your business. Stories are awesome to really help, once again, people solidify their purchase decisions and actually hit that buy button, right? So what I want you to brainstorm when it comes to stories for launch period, once again, we are going to be thinking pre-launch period and we're going to be thinking launch period, right? So a few stories that you could brainstorm are value stories, right? So this is kind of helping to boost brand awareness, boost brand affinity, especially during the pre-launch period. Value stories are great. But if you think about your brand values, think about the stuff that your brand really cares about. Think about the stuff that your brand wants to see change in the world and that really irks you. And brainstorm personal stories that exemplify that. that either say, oh, this was a time when I really lifted up my brand value and, I grew stronger in this value. Or this is a time when I did not uphold my brand value and I regretted it, right? Like sharing these types of stories, these types of personal example stories are really, really awesome and really, really powerful for building brand affinity. When it comes to other stories you could share for launches, it can be your own transformation story, right? Like if you ever have been going through that transformation that your ideal customers are going through, literally, I share this story for whenever I launch the Feel Good Social map, my online course. I share a story about how when I started out as a Feel Good Social, or when I started out as a social media manager, I was really, really struggling. I started gaining clients and everything started snowballing and I was doing really great. And then all of a sudden I was like, holy cow, I am wasting so much time every day. All I'm doing is posting to social media for my clients. There has to be a better way than this, right? So then I created my online system that I still use today to plan out my own content and my clients' content. And everything got so much easier. Not only did I stop wasting hours and hours every day posting on social media, but also I was able to create content in a more strategic way. I share that story every time I launch the social map, and it's like my most popular post, my friend. So think about your own transformation story. Are there transformation stories that you have that could relate and parallel your own customer's transformation story? That is super, super powerful. And then finally, I want you to brainstorm stories about your specific offers and just behind the scenes of your process of creating it. Anytime you have tried and tested it yourself or a client has tried and tested it, just I don't know if you have evolved it over time or if there's any changes that you've made to it or anything like that. Those stories are awesome to share because it creates awareness around your product without it being super in your face. Hey, buy this thing, right? So brainstorm stories for both the launch period and the pre-launch period, my friend, and start sharing those as well. So freaking powerful. I love it so much. Okay, let's take a deep breath. If you have any questions about this stuff, my friend, please reach out to me on Instagram at FeelGoodSocial or shoot me an email, Kinsey at FeelGoodSocial. I would love to chat with you about it. And don't forget to check out the Feel Good Social Club at feelgoodsocial.com/club. I would love to see you in the program. And we're going to be doing this stuff every month. Although I will say, you only have to really plan for a launch during high promotional periods in your business, which we might want to start doing as we come into the holidays, right? But we don't have to get this detailed every frickin' month. There are some months when you can just create general content and just boost brand awareness and brand affinity and all that stuff too, right? So this is the launch promotions are very, very specific and in very, very smaller times in your year. Okay. So I just wanted to say that if you're feeling overwhelmed right now. Okay. The final thing I want to say when it comes to this stuff is now that we have brainstormed a lot of content for your launch strategy and we have your map outlined with the dates for the pre-launch runway and the launch period, what I want you to do is just slowly start filling in your month with this content that you just brainstormed, right? Start laying it out in a way that makes sense, that is kind of ramping up your customers to want to buy from you when cart open date happens. And then also during the launch period, hit your customers with a story, then a misconception, then an objection, then a customer testimonial, and so on, right? Lay out your content, start filling in the content into your map, and everything will start to come together, my friend. And the final thing that I want to say when it comes to planning a launch strategy is content repurposing is key. Okay. So I tend to focus on social media first because that's how much I am, right? That's kind of what the focus of my business is. And that's just how my brain works. But what I will do is then take a social media post that I created that is super awesome and turn that into an email for my email list, right? I will take maybe 3 posts and smash them together and create a blog post out of it or a podcast episode out of it, right? Think about the ways that you can repurpose this content in all areas of your marketing so that all areas of your marketing are working together and you're hitting people with all of your messaging again and again and again, which you've probably heard me say this on the podcast before. This is very important to hit your customers again and again and again with the same information, because we need to hear, see, read something 7 to 10 times in order to actually take action on it. Right? So that is really the bottom line of why planning a campaign, a promotional campaign for your brand is so important, because people really do need to be prepped to buy from you. Okay. So how can you repurpose this content that you just organized into your strategy in all the different ways, hit your customers in all the different places with all the different messages, and really just get them excited to buy from you when cart opens, right? Think about that. If you have any questions, let me know again, my friend. And please do not forget to check out the Feel Good Social Club at feelgoodsocial.com/club. The doors are opening next week. I want you to get your name on the wait list so that you do not miss out on the founding members prize. I would love to see you in there. It is going to be so amazing. And guess what? November 2nd is going to be our first content planning workshop, and you do not want to miss that, my friend. All right. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I hope to see you in the Feel Good Social Club. I would love to see you there. Thanks so much for listening, my friend. For show notes and a whole lot of other awesome freebies, visit feelgoodsocial.com. Simply go to feelgoodsocial.com for all the goods.